What's up, everybody? To tip or to not to tip? That's the question. So I'm out here in California. That's where I live. So I know in different areas, the service is so much different. So when I went to Houston, Texas last year, the part of Texas we was at, I don't know if every part of Texas is like that, but the part of Texas we was at, the tip was already included with the bill, right? And I will admit that majority of the spots that we went to in Texas, the service is like, right? We're like, okay, that's a little something. However, I do have a problem with that. First off, the history of tipping comes from segregation times, right? It comes from when a rich or, a white man want to appear rich or whatever the case may be, right? Want a little bit of extra, or they feeling themselves. So they say, here you go. That's why I don't like when black men say boss. Hey, boss, because that's where that come from. Hey, boss, you give me a little extra, I'm going to give you a little extra. So that means if you pour my drink and you stop at the line, but you go a little bit more, later on I'm going to give you $2, $3. So that's where tipping culture actually comes from. And you'll be surprised in other countries, they don't even tip. So I just want to put that little quick part of history in there. Now, I will admit to this part that I am a woman who had and still does have a career that's somewhat based off of tips, right? However, it's not based off tips, but it is, right? So as a licensed massage therapist, people tend to tip me, right? They give me a little bit of something extra. And the reason why I bring that up, because it's not that I have a problem with tipping. It's just starting to be so much required and the amount that you're supposed to tip when you're not getting nothing extra, right? So if you're a waiter, I've been to certain places, like I'll say this. When I go to like Chili's, it's a Chili's in my neighborhood, or is that Chevy's? Damn, okay, it's Chili's. It's a Chili's in my neighborhood where there's like 3 older women that work there that been there for years. Like you could really say you went there 10 years ago and them women worked there. And I feel like there was a point in time when being a waitress was something to be proud about. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say it's, you don't have any pride to say, oh, I'm a waitress, but I'm saying certain jobs in the past were prestigious, and being a waitress was one, right? Maybe still one. However, I know for a fact in the past it was something nice to be a waitress. So my local Chili's, the OG waitress that's there, they do so much where you can, they take so much pride in their work where you can sincerely want to tip them, and that tip goes a long way, right? But now it's not the case. So what do I feel as a woman who makes money off tips as well? I still have a limit of one, right? So what do? I'm a licensed massage therapist. I've been a massage therapist for over about 15 years. And I'm good at what I do. I call myself the pain relief specialist, okay? So with that being said, if somebody get a massage from me and they don't tip me, but they come see me once a week out of a month, I don't give a damn about no tip. If somebody comes see me once every 6 months and they leave me a $5 tip and I probably charge about $150, $200, that still doesn't bother me because I still have my flat rate. The thing about tipping is that certain parts of America, people wage, especially for waitressing, being a waitress, it's about $5, $10, right? So that tip really does make them have a decent wage, right? However, me living in Oakland, California, San Francisco, Bay Area, California, I'm noticing places, if I go in and spend $65, they want 10% of that. That's this place I just left. I got a few examples to give you. The place I just left, I brought 2 drinks, a salad, a Cobb salad that automatically came with bacon. I had to add chicken to it, right? When I got my bill, it said the tip at the lowest amount. I think it started off at, I really want to say it started off at 20%, but maybe 18%. But it started off at $10 that I was going to get. And as I sat there, I thought to myself, what extra did this person do for me? Did they give me an extra shot? Did they put more pieces of my chicken on there? Are you guys telling me that in order for me to get good service, I have to give a tip? You taking my order, bringing my food to me, the bartender making my drink the correct way, like he's supposed to by law, putting the right amount of shot in there, I'm supposed to give you a goddamn tip? To the degree where it's about $10, which my bill go from $60 for one salad with chicken on it, okay? The salad was delicious. Now, I don't got no problem paying $23 for a salad. I don't. If it's fulfilling like that, that salad was very fulfilling. However, my 2 drinks, one was 17, one was 16. Now, was those drinks very delicious? Yes. Did they give me a nice amount of tipsiness? Yes. However, if you add them up, that's about what? $32, $33? I could take my black ass to the liquor store and get something to drink, right? But that's neither here or there. The main thing is this. This tipping culture is getting too much. Personally, I'm at a point in my life, I don't mind tipping my waitress or my bartender if they're giving me extra, if they're going above and beyond. Do I think that I'm supposed to reward you more because you picked up my plate fast? Actually, no. If you're good at what you, that's why I said there was a point in time when being a waitress was a prestige job, because your social skills was so intact that you can tell when somebody's about to finish their food and you going to go pick up their plate. You can tell when somebody is doing A, B, C, D, F, G, and you just moving. You so in tune with them, you moving as they're eating. You know what I mean? So if you notice alcohol is about this much left, you know how to walk over there and say you want another drink, da-da-da. However, I cannot always tip a crazy ass amount based off you doing your damn job. Okay? And this is not to all waitresses and waiters, because everybody don't feel this way. It's just, maybe it's the restaurant owners trying to, cover the back end, because most people who get into those type of fields, you're getting into it based off of the tips. You're thinking, okay, I'm gonna get tipped good. Why? Because we all like good customer service. However, I want people to think about this. Do you tip the AT&T, T-Mobile customer service people, Verizon customer service, Sprint? Is Sprint still around? Are you tipping Cricket and them? Are you tipping your insurance person? Are you highly tipping your nail and your foot person? I have a thing like this. If you down there massaging my feet, cleaning my feet, I'm going to give you a decent tip. Why? Because that's my feet. You know what I mean? If you're a massage therapist and you give me a good massage, you touching all over my body, I want to give you a good tip, right? The dental people, I actually bring them snacks. And after my service, I ordered them a pizza before. I said, y'all the dentists and y'all don't eat certain things, but that's what I want to give to y'all. To me, those are things that deserve a tip. You understand what I'm saying? Those are things that deserve. If I'm gonna be tipping somebody based off how much I spend, I'd rather be tipping a foot spa person, a massage therapist, someone who got their hands in my goddamn mouth, right? Why I don't tip the gynecologist? She got her hands, he got his hands all in my stuff, researching, trying to figure it out. Why I don't get upset? Oh, here goes the extra $10, baby, thank you. Thank you for keeping the tools clean, right? But instead, society wants me to tip everybody else an arm and a leg, and I can't do it. So what I want to say is, all in all, is just basically this. You want a tip out of me, and you're the bartender, you're the waiter. You want something above and beyond, because my new rule now, and I may get some pushback, I'm just tipping $5. Unless you give me some extra drink, some extra food, some extra fries, I'm just tipping $5. You serving me like how you supposed to, because that's part of your job, that's part of your job description. I'm not doing all that. I don't no one benefits for that. I can't give you extra. And let me say this real quick, because I do want to make it clear, in certain places in America, the minimum wage is low. Whereas, like, you know, like I said, the way they could pay a waiter, a waitress, a chef, a bartender, if they could pay them in a way where it's kind of like, yeah, the tips are covering the rest. That's totally different, right? However, where I'm at in the Bay Area, California, waitress, bartenders are starting off about $20 an hour. Why we don't tip the people at McDonald's? They deserve a tip if that's the case. I will say this. I think In-N-Out out here in California didn't take tips or something like that before. Like it was like you'll want to leave a tip because they'll make it. They do it so well and they come up so fucking happy-go-lucky. They you like, oh, let me give you $1, let me give you $2. So I say all this to say, for those in places that they throw that tip amount based off how much you spend. Like I see Starbucks, they ask for tips, and I do enjoy Starbucks. However, I'm already spending $6.50 for some coffee. And now they asking me, do I want to tip the barista? I'm sorry, barista, I'm probably giving 50 cents to $1. You're already getting paid a sufficient minimum wage. Do I think that my tipping should be based off of because you're getting paid a sufficient minimum wage? Yes and no. Seriously, I do. Like I said, if you make my drink the way I want you to make my drink, I don't have to bend over backwards to give you a goddamn tip. You just follow protocol. If I become a doctor, do you think anybody giving me a tip? That's who's supposed to get tipped. A doctor, a dentist, somebody like that. And I'm not saying waitresses and waiters are not supposed to give tips. Yes, they are. However, I'm saying if you're not giving me nothing extra, like what tipping was for back in the day, just stroke somebody's ego. I don't need my ego stroked that good. I don't need you to call me boss. I don't need you to call me madam. Just call me miss. Ma'am. I don't need those things in order to feel good about myself, to be like, oh shit, I just want to throw out a bunch of tips. And this actually comes from somebody that really would tip very well. However, I want to say this year was my reality of like, Ryan, are you just giving out fucking money? The fuck? If this bitch okay, let me take the back. If this person sees 7 customers, they get paid $22 an hour. 7 customers, and each 7 of them customers leave $10. They just got paid nearly $37 an hour. That's a lot of money. And for 10 of that, and if what happened out of 7 customers, 3 of them paying cash. So you don't have to pay taxes on that. But if a regular smuggler ass person has a job and they just make, you know, they work at CVS, checking in, checking out, they work at CVS and they just get $20 an hour, they don't get no goddamn tips. They don't get no tips for helping somebody find something and then coming up with them to get a discount. You know, you work at the pharmacy and you helping people get their medicine cheaper. You don't get no goddamn tip. So I'm not trying to hate on the tipping culture because, like I said, I myself have businesses such as massage therapy based off of tipping culture, but I provide so much of a good service. Even to this day, when I tell people, I say, you don't have to leave a tip, just come back. Just come back. Because if you was going to leave me a $30, $40 tip, just put that towards your next massage. And now you're going to guarantee get that massage. Even certain nail shop people, right, I go to, they will sit up there and, what would they do? One lady, I was like, damn, you know, because she do my feet so well. I mean, she really cleans my feet thoroughly. The cuticle, all that. She does a very good job where anybody that go to her, they wait till when she available because that's how good she do. I told her one time, I said, damn, girl, I ain't been here. I haven't had no real money to give you for a tip. She said, long as you come once a month, that overrides a tip. If I only send you about 3 times out the year and you're using those other times to do your feet yourself, that tip you give me doesn't mean nothing. And that is the truth. Because the tip may be from $10 to $20. That doesn't cover me seeing her at least once or 2 times a month. And usually I would see her 2 times every 2 weeks. So really, I don't know who this video is for. Or maybe it could be for people who do work in a restaurant business or work in certain industries where they get tipped for. This video could be for somebody that is like myself, used to be a big tipper, but then you have to step back and say, hold the fuck up. You already making $25 an hour and I'm supposed to give you $10 on top of that? Because you brought me my drinks and you ain't even give me an extra shot? You brought me my regular ass drinks on GP. You served me my food on time. And I'm supposed to tip you for that? Ain't nobody in here. And even if it is, if I stop coming and the majority of us stop coming here, then what? Then now you out of a job, right? So all this thing works in a circle. Tip the fucking janitor. Tip that person. Tip the motherfucker that helped you book something and was, oh, I gotta do this, that, and the third. Tip them. Give them a good tip. But I can't keep giving a huge tip to someone who just follow protocol because that's what you got hired for. Life don't work like that. Okay. I love tipping, I love giving. However, I just had a big reality check where I'm like, I'm already spending $62. $10 more make it $72. But it's just me giving the fucking restaurant money? For the restaurant to be able to give a lesser wage because they baking off of tips? Even me as a massage therapist, I don't work for places like that. Places don't be like, oh, we're going to pay you $10 because we're going to guarantee you're going to get a $20 tip. Stop it. So, yeah, all in all, tip what you can afford. If you are a worker and you base yourself off tips, do realize don't do the job just for the tips. Okay? That's going to get you pissed off, irritated. And in a situation when you meet somebody like me, yeah, you did your job. Did you do anything extra? Did you pour me an extra shot? Huh? Did you give me extra chicken? Did you do something extra? No. You just follow protocol.